Hello everyone, it's DAMM time, and it's DAMM time intention edition. I just want to do another mandala with the, setting an intention at first and carrying that through with the creating the mandala. Okay, and just a few seconds. I started a little bit early so we can let people join in. All right, let's see. We'll just go ahead and get started. Hello, Anna. Thanks for hopping in and watching. I'm going to do a meditation mandala with an intention to start. So let's see. So what I mean in doing that is I want us to take a minute before we start and think of an intention that we want to set, whatever it is for you at the time. It could be small, it could be big. But in thinking of that intention, think about how that feels for you, what the intention feels like. Is it something that's very powerful? Is it something that's, a smaller, easier, more lighthearted intention? Is it, how does it feel to you? Is it heavy? Is it, and because we're going to take that feeling and that intention and kind of try to translate it into a shape. And the shape is what we're going to be starting our mandala with. So in thinking about it as a shape, it's a little bit obscure, but just, think it could be anything. It could be a heart, a spiral, a circle, a square, a diamond, anything that's a shape. And, you kind of have, when you're thinking about the feeling of this intention, you can kind of translate it into a shape or what it feels like in a shape, or at least as close as you can get to what that would translate into a shape. And that's just how we're going to start this mandala, is with this shape. And then after we do the main shape, then I'll just be carrying you through the rest of the mandala. You can, copy what I'm doing, or you can just go on and do your own. So let's get started on that, and let's think for just a second about our intention and then about how that feels. And so just to give an example, I'm thinking of an intention of really trying to be organized this week. I have a lot that I need to get done, and I really need to set that into my head to be organized and to stay on task and to really try to accomplish the things that I need to accomplish this week. And to me, organized seems a little bit more structured. So I'm going to start, hello Guinevere. So I'm going to start my mandala with a square, because that seems to me structured, like you're keeping things contained. And so that's just kind of an example of what I mean, and just like thinking about how your intention feels and how to translate that into a shape. Okay, so let's start with that. I've started with my square. Go ahead and start with the shape that you have thought of. And if you seriously can't think of a shape going into it, hello, Jeffrey. I'm doing an intention mandala today. So we're setting an intention to start and to carry through in our mandala. So if you really can't think about a shape that your attention translates to, just make it simple on yourself and start with a circle or something. Anyway, so we have our shape down, and let's go ahead and just kind of build on that. So whatever shape you've put in, we're just going to make some petals around it. That's an easy shape to kind of just layer on anything. So let's just make some basic flower petals. And again, focusing on our line work. And throughout, I'll be reminding you, and I want you to keep in mind, hello Mary, of your intention that you set. So keep bringing yourself back to that intention and let it kind of really just be, kind of sink in as you're creating the layers of the mandala. Let's see, let's go ahead and let's just make some larger petals going around for now. And I am thinking of my line work. Again, if you're new, thinking of my line work, I mean by that is having a start point, drawing your line, and then having a stop point. So thinking about that in your head, you don't need to say it out loud or move in slow motion, but just thinking start, draw, stop. That will really keep your mind focused in on the task and help keep the exercise very mindful for you. Let's put some, let's put some of these little Hershey Kiss shapes going around. And you know what I want to do? I want to do a little overlap. So this is a little bit next level, but let's throw it in there. So what we're going to do, instead of starting right at the stop point, we're going to start in a little bit and then kind of overlap those. So just starting right on the inside of the line you already put down. And that just kind of gives it a more interesting look, a little bit of a layered look going around. And then you're kind of almost getting, two shapes in one. You're getting these little chubby triangles in the middle. All right. And then let's do another of this Hershey's Kiss shape. Just starting kind of on the insides of these shapes here. So we'll just do another one, just coming up like this. And again, remembering to, stay mindful of our lines. Thinking about our intention, keep drawing your focus back to your shape in the middle to kind of just reinforce that intention that you set. There we go. And our next layer. And as you can see, all my shapes are all different sizes, and they're not all exactly the same, and that's perfectly fine, because on these mandalas, again, what we're working on is having them as a mindful exercise, not as high art or something that needs to be perfect at all. That's not saying that you cannot take it and display it, give it to somebody as a gift, cut it out and put it on a card and give to somebody. That would be really beautiful to do. But it still doesn't have to be perfect to do that. Let's see. Let's do our little chubby triangle in between these shapes. Right here. So just layer on this kind of triangle shape with the bowed out sides, what I call chubby triangle. And I am not moving my paper just because it gets difficult when I'm filming, but remember to turn your paper, as you draw your shapes, and that will just, one, help your shapes look better, be easier to draw them, and really save your wrist. These tendons tend to get very sore when you're kind of doing this thing a lot. And it's honestly harder to draw your shapes. They won't come out looking as nice because of that. Okay, so let's see, what are we gonna do? Let's make another of the same type of shapes, just starting on the outside of our little chubby triangle here. So we're gonna make like a petal or a leaf shape coming up there. Like a pointed petal, a little bit rounded on the bottom and pointed on the top. Again, keeping mindful of our lines. Don't be in a rush. Think about your pen on the paper, the lines that you're making. And when you're doing it yourself, and I'm not talking over it, you can actually focus on the sound of the pen on the paper too. As you can hear kind of just the scrape of the pen as it goes on the paper. And of course, if you have music on the background, that's not going to really be something. But I just like to talk about that because it is a thing. You can, if you do it in silence, you can really focus on that sound, and it's really nice to help carry you through and help you keep mindful of the lines that you're making. Let's see. Let's do in between these shapes. So going just from, midway to midway, let's do a sort of inverted triangle going up. And I am going to turn my paper on this one because some shapes just are really difficult to do without turning your paper. So this just adds a different element to the mandala. It kind of opens up the space a little bit, gives you a little bit of white space, of open paper space going on in there. A little breathing room. Go, one more. And then let's see. Let's take and make a another, like a kind of a squashed Hershey's Kiss shape inside of here, or kind of like those fancy, parenthesis brackets. And again, this is a shape that, is a little bit more tricky to make. They always come out wonky. One side is always bigger than the other. And sometimes they can look a little squashed, but that is okay. In the end, when we're finished with our mandala, we won't even notice all those little differences. Here we go. Let's see. Let's make next, let's just on the outside of this, let's make kind of a very open, wide, kind of almost a chubby triangle, but a little bit more rounded than that. Just kind of softening up those points a little bit. Remember, keep your mind coming back to your intention, keep refocusing on that center. And one reason that I talk about thinking about what your intention feels like and how does that translate into a shape, being very specific about trying to link those two, because then all it does is take a glance back into the middle to remind yourself and reinforce that intention. So you almost don't even really have to think about it too much. You just have to glance in the middle, and then you will suddenly, again, remember to focus on your intention. There we go. Let's see, time check. 5:44, okay. Where's everybody from that's watching today? I know I have a few people who watch from Australia, so they don't pop on often when I go on this time because I think it's early in the morning for them. In Europe, I think it's probably late night, so it's mostly the Americas that are logging on right now. Let's see, what should we do next? let's try to get a little bit fancy here. So let's make kind of an inverted triangle, but let's make it kind of rounded at the top. So we're gonna like do kind of an inversion and then make like a little hook in at the top. So getting kind of fancy now. And again, this might be a little bit tricky to do the first time you're making shapes. So if it doesn't work out for you, just, just go with whatever shapes. Hello, Gina. Hello, Anna. Both of you popped on at the same time. Thank you for coming in for a minute and watching with me. Today's mandala is an intention mandala. So we set an intention in the beginning, and that's what our shape in the middle is to connect us to that intention. And so we can glance back in and keep our mind focused on the intention that we set throughout the mandala. So it's kind of a double duty mandala. It's a mindfulness and meditation time in, and we get to focus on an intention that we're setting for ourselves. All right, last one. There we go. Let's see, should we do anything else? Let's do one more, just kind of flattened out chubby triangle here. Or it could be just a kind of a semicircle going in that space. Just to kind of fill in that large gap there a little bit. And let's see, time check, 5:47. Okay, I got a few more minutes. We'll finish up this row, and then I'll talk a little bit about some fillers, some decoration to put in, and then we'll be good to go. And also remember, this is, these are really good to use kind of as coloring pages. So once you've done this basic outline, even after you've put in some decoration, you can take this and use it as a coloring page to color with markers or crayons or colored pencils or whatever you'd like. They work really well for that, and they're really beautiful when you put a lot of color in them. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to put some petals on the outside of these shapes here. Just feel like that needs a little bit extra. Going around these. And when we're doing these petals, even though it's easy to kind of, start to go fast because they're repeated of a lot of the same shape, we still need to think about each line. So, even as I'm doing them fairly quickly, I'm still having a start, draw, stop. So start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. So I'm, really still focused on having a very distinct stop and start point when I do this. And that will also just help the shape look better. You'll actually, tend to meet the line and have that connection better if you focus on that. Oh yes, we are doing good. I hope you're doing good, Anna. I'm glad that you hop on to watch me once in a while. And okay, let's see. What else can we do in here? Let's put some little droplets in this shape. And sometimes it gets confusing going back and trying to fill in the spaces because the shape starts to blend together. So you have to take a second and pay attention to where you are and what shape you're filling in. Not that if you make a mistake, it's a big deal. Nobody will even notice. And let's do kind of a double line on these. And doing shapes like this, like doing a double line or the repeated shape, it works really well for when you want to use this as coloring pages. And you can even, this shape is hard because they're small, but you can even make a third, like little shape in the middle. And that looks really nice when you do like 3 different shades of the same color. So if you do blues, you can do like a dark blue, a medium blue, and a light blue or something in the middle. Hello, Candace. Nice to have you. And so things like that look really good when you're coloring it in. And let's see, time check. I got a couple more minutes. Let's see, what shall we do? In this nice rounded section here, I'm going to put a nice circle. And I think it just feels good there. It's like it was begging to have a circle in that space. And again, I'm not filling in all of them just so I can, go a little faster in the process and show you more, excuse me, my throat, more things to fill in. It tends to get a little bit time consuming, the filling in when you do a lot of detail, and I don't want to take that time when I could be showing you more variety. Let's see. I'm going to, in my little, and again, I looked at the circle, the center, I saw my square, and it immediately brought my attention back to the intention that I set. Hello, Kathy. And so it really, really works as a very good reminder, just constantly through creating the mandala, bringing your mind back to that intention that you set. All it takes is that one little shape, and that's because we really focus in the beginning on setting that shape that matched the feeling of our intention that we set. Oh, good, thank you. I'm afraid sometimes because, talking throughout it, my voice starts to get scratchy. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I'm not getting like annoying talking. But thank you, that really makes me feel good that you said that, so thank you. Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, talking about, that shape in the middle, bringing your attention back to the intention you set really, really works. So again, I'm going to just in these little petals, I'm just going to make some little lines and just, making it look kind of just like the center of a little flower petal. And if you want to, one thing that you can do is actually, fill in or maybe do double lines or something on that shape that you set for your intention in the middle. Depending on what the shape is, it might or might not lend itself to you doing that. Let's see. And you know what I want to do? I want to take, and I'm going to take from the center of this flower-ish and make these lines kind of radiating and going up into this shape. And again, if you've watched my videos before, I really like that contrast of the kind of the lines and the more geometric shapes with the organic shapes. That's really appealing to me, that contrast. So I do that a lot. And so just having some of the shapes be filled in with lines, excuse me, I do a lot. And you know what I'm going to do too, because it's getting a little bit jumbled in here, I am going to make this line, this shape, just a little bit thicker. So making the variation in line width helps with the detail in your mandala too, and just visually gives that kind of break to your eye and seeing all the little detail. When you see a bolder line, it kind of gives that break. It brings attention to it. It brings that up. And I also feel that using like areas where you fill in or where you make bold acts very grounding for the shape too. It gives it that weight that just makes it feel, gives it that a little bit of heaviness, and which makes it seem a little bit more important. And oh my gosh, okay, I gotta go. It is time. I gotta run up to my neighborhood sing-along. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing that, but I don't know. And as long as we're locked down, we're going to be doing these sing-alongs, which is great. I'm so thankful for my neighborhood. We are just all super close. Doing these sing-alongs every night is remarkable. It's keeping me sane through this kind of isolation. Hey, Amber. You popped on just at the last second. I'm just closing off. We did an intention mandala today. So the square in the middle is what we set when we started. I had everybody set an intention and then think of a shape that felt like that, and that's how we started. And that way we could keep bringing our attention back to that intention throughout the mandala. Anyway, that is it. I gotta go. And if you make a mandala, please share it. I'd love to see. And please share this video. I would love to, have these reach as many people as possible, just so they can learn to create meditation mandalas. We all need a little bit of mindfulness right now. And or even just watch along as I draw them. That's also very relaxing and just really fun to do. And oh yeah, that's right, it's your auction time, isn't it? Thank you, Billy. Yeah, I need to pop on. Guy, I've been so busy. I had the artist interview this morning, and then I've been trying to get so much done and uploading a bunch of videos to YouTube. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta be down the street. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Again, post your mandala if you made one. Share the video if you wouldn't mind. I would love that. And I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. All right, guys. Oh, good. Do you see them? Yay! It's really nice. I do love my neighborhood. Anyway, I'm going to be late, and I'm the one that, I'm the videographer, so I gotta go. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.